What's next, buddy?
Acquisition of the year.
Acquisition of the year.
Again,
Okay.
a category I told you pulling the curtain back. There wasn't that many this year. Should we make it return of the year? He goes, no, let's do acquisition of the year. So forging ahead, I felt like you had an answer in mind. Acquisition of the year.
So my acquisition of the year might surprise some people, but I have to give it to Saraya. Okay. Because of the fact that I know her first match back with Britt Baker wasn't necessarily a 5-star match. And if you're expecting a 5-star match from Saraya after, this huge injury, time off the ring, that's setting the bar very high. You're setting your expectations to fail. Saraya had a very good match in her first match back with Britt Baker. Saraya also admitted, the nerves that she had, because that was her first time when she first came to AEW. That was her first time on a live mic in a while too. In front of all those fans, it was emotional. It was a lot, nerves going there, and she did a solid job. But the reason why I'm saying Saraya for AEW is just because for a long time, and I think people would still call it today, she was one of the best female wrestlers in the world. And I'm very clear in using the word wrestler, not as a superstar, although her experience in WWE as a superstar, as a top superstar, does help as well. And I think AEW Women's Division desperately needed that. Yes, they got Toni Storm from WWE, who's been doing a hell of a job, but she doesn't have quite the same experience that Saraya has, the same knowledge that Saraya has. And it's funny because at one point Saraya was the youngest person in the WWE locker room. Now she has the most expertise in the AEW locker room, and she's still fairly young. So I think that's a huge get for AEW.
Huge get.
Your turn.
We were watching this on TV after the fact because I was on a date that sucked. So I knew what happened, but I wanted to watch it in person. Music hit, right? Much of the crowd, what song is this? Right? What is this? Paige comes out. Wow. Rumors were there for a while, but Saraya is now in AEW, so I agree with you. I remember talking about it when it happened back in September. How last year at the Puddies, I gave Daniel Bryan was the acquisition of the year for AEW. And we're talking on the show when it happened. I think this is bigger than Daniel Bryan's acquisition because it gives so much credence, respect, credibility to that floundering women's division who they're trying to rebuild. And they've done a great job of it. I think Saraya only adds more to that. It hasn't had the impact that I thought it would yet, but it's definitely on pace to definitely put eyes on that product, which is the point. And I think this conversation will be short because that was the acquisition of the year for me as well.
I think what Saraya doesn't get enough credit for, and I feel like she never has, is psychology. And she has her ring psychology, I think, is very high. And I think the AEW women's talent, the talent level has been there and it's shining more and more and more. But I think what's been lacking a little bit is ring psychology, and that could be the missing piece right there. And if Saraya could give some of that to some of these talents over there, who have been killing it, it could wind up being the best division.